Prologue. Through many generations, a hero by the name of Link has been reborn to stand up and battle any form of evil that threatened the kingdom known as Hyrule. With the help of the goddesses Din, Nayru, and Farore, and in many cases a sidekick, Link would venture to find out his enemy's scheme and learn about what he needed to do to halt them. For hundreds of years now, there has been a time of peace, and the legendary hero has yet to be needed. All of Hyrule has come to a truce with the Underworld, and all now live together in a giant city that was once Castletown. They call this new city Hyrule, after the great land that they once lived in separately. Even the goddesses, including Hylia, have decided that they would live on Earth and live a life of their own. They have all agreed that they would conceal themselves in a human form. They believe that if they didn't know what you really were, there wouldn't be anything to fight about anymore. Everything appeared to be perfect. A major school catered to all grade levels, practically no violence except for the occasional bar fights, and an excellent economy made Hyrule look like a perfect city. However, all of that was during the daytime. At night, however, Hyrule was entirely different. Violence could be seen along the side streets. There was never a morning you wouldn't hear of murder or vandalism on the news. Even though all that had passed at night, magic was used to clean up any remnant of trouble. In the middle of the city sits the greatest evil to hit Hyrule. Palmer Industries, owned by Clark Palmer, owns just about everything. From the hospitals to Hyrule Academy, you can't go anywhere without seeing his name. He pretty much ran the city. Palmer Industries is the tallest building in the city, purposely built that tall so Clark would be able to observe the whole city right from his office, from Zora Bay in the south to the Forest of Lost Souls in the north. He could take in everything. If anyone tried to defy him, he would know. Now we come to our main character of this epic tale. Liam attends and is in his 14th year at Hyrule Academy. The academy is a place where all youngsters are required to attend and must complete 16 years. The first 12 years contain your basic classes such as reading and writing, math, and science. Years 13 through 16 have a higher math and science, as well as history and legends and sword fighting. Liam isn't really the brightest, but he gets by. He has two friends, Jacob and Nikki. And as we all know, all schools have that one bully that pretty much everyone fears and allows them to run the place. After his normal day of classes, he headed home without delay. It was drawing close to the winter season, and he looked forward to coming home to a nice tall mug of hot chocolate, made from fresh Lon Ranch milk. He was so excited that he didn't even bother to hang out with his friends after school. He may be near 20, but he couldn't pass up anything sweet made by his mother. What Liam didn't realize is that he was about to come across his destiny, and his whole world was going to be turned upside down. He was just about halfway home when he heard what he could clearly tell was a scuffle coming from an alley he passed. He kept telling himself not to worry and to keep on walking. He wasn't usually the nosy type, but something deep inside told him to look anyways. Not wanting to be seen, he got as close to the wall as possible and peeked his head around the corner just enough that he wouldn't be seen. What he saw shocked him so much that he almost fell over. At first, he saw two men, one really overly buff and the other a bit scrawny, fighting. Normal, seeing as how there was a bar at the other end of the alley. He really thought he was seeing things when he saw them change shape. The really buff person looked like a pig, and the scrawny one looked to be a skeleton. He would normally pass that off as him not getting enough sleep, but this was the first time it happened that day. He was about to creep away when the strap of his school bag broke and made a loud crash when it hit the ground. The two men stopped and looked over Liam's way and saw him. He was too busy picking up his stuff to notice the two exchanging words. He left a few papers, but didn't care. He'd rather lose his homework than his life. He turned and ran as fast as he could. Both men were chasing him for quite some time. Between the fears of being killed by whatever they were and the fact that there may be a whole other world around him, he just wouldn't stop running. He eventually looked back as he crossed a bridge and noticed they had stopped chasing him. He didn't try to think why, he just kept on running. He didn't care why they stopped and didn't want to take the chance that they would start chasing again. He just wanted to get home and feel safe once again. Deep down, he hoped that what he saw was all in his head and he was only being chased because they were drunk. But he somehow also knew that wasn't the case. He needed to tell his mother what happened. She knew she wouldn't know anything, but he had to tell someone close to him. Out of breath and ready to fall over, he entered the safety of his home. His mother came in from the kitchen. She was still making his hot chocolate. The smell kept him awake just long enough to utter a few words. "You won't believe what I just saw." His mother was close enough that she caught him as he slumped over and lost consciousness.